The Warriors suck. The Lakers coach has CTE. Kevin Durant says he won't run from the grind, and the Minnesota Timberwolves are the best team in the West. We're in an alternate dimension this season. The teams we expected to be good, or the teams we're used to being good, are absolutely awful. And the teams we thought would be awful are doing surprisingly well. Let's look at the Philadelphia 76ers, for example. Once James Harden forced his way out,
is a liar, and I will never be a part of an organization that he's a part of.
most of us assumed this was going to be another wasted year of MVP level Joel Embiid, but they're the third seed in the East. And Maxey is looking like an all-star, averaging 26 points and 7 assists a game. And I love the big wings they got in return for James. Marcus Morris, Robert Covington, Nicholas Batum, and KJ Martin. They have a lot of guys who are 6'5 plus that can shoot a respectful percentage from the field and defend. This might be one of the best suited teams they ever built around Joel. Maybe not the best talent-wise, but definitely the best fit. Is it enough to really contend though? No. Yes, Joel Embiid is great, and some nights he looks like the best player in the world, but I will never put my money on Joel Embiid staying healthy or not having a couple playoff stinkers, giving you 14 points in 40 minutes. And there's definitely going to be a few games where they're going to rely on Maxey to get you 28 points, 30 points, and I just don't know how sustainable that is for someone who truly just got the green light this season. And everyone in the Eastern standings below the 76ers are in the same boat. Not terrible teams, but definitely not ready to truly contend. The Cavs, the Heat, the Pacers, the Knicks. All teams that can make some noise in the playoffs, but truly won't be title contenders. One of the teams in the East I truly believe in is the Boston Celtics. And it hurts me to say this as a Lakers fan and as an avid JT hater, but the record speaks for itself. They're currently the #1 seed in the East, 30-9, and completely undefeated at home currently, 19-0. And I love this roster. Getting rid of key guys like Grant Williams and Marcus Smart after 2 relatively successful playoff runs, that's a brave move and it takes a lot of confidence. Most GMs would have chose to run it back with the same squad. So shout out to Brad Stevens. He's an awful coach, but he's been a world-class GM. Going all in on both of the Jays and the addition of Porzingis and Drew Holiday has completely elevated the floor and ceiling of this team. In the offseason, the conversation was, why would you lock in 2 players that aren't both top 5 solidified players in the NBA for $700 million? A lot of us fans who weren't privy to what the front office plans were just didn't understand it, me included. I thought unless Jason Tatum made another huge leap into being a definitive top 3 player in the league, then they would have no hope of ever winning a championship. The addition of Porzingis and Holiday has made the Celtics team have the best starting 5 on the planet. So much more offensive variety, and everyone in that lineup can play defense. There's really no real switch target opponents' teams can target. The #1 defense currently, and for that reason I have them as one of the real title contenders. Now, the #1 team in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards has taken a huge leap, going from 24 points per game to 26 points per game and being much more efficient. He's now shooting close to 40% from 3, and he's drastically improved his free throw shooting, going from 75% last season to 85% this season. Cat and Rudy Gobert seem to finally be fitting together much better, and we're seeing a lot less of this. And Rudy Gobert seems to be back to DPOY standards. This is a great team, but they have 2 glaring issues. One is the lack of shooting. This team isn't an awful 3-point shooting team. They're actually 5th in percentage, but the volume is so low, insanely low. They're ranked 24th out of 30 teams in attempts per game. And at the end of the day, this is a 3-point league. Usually the team who makes the most threes wins. The second issue is the turnovers. They average the 3rd most turnovers a game. And in the playoffs, where every possession matters and where the defensive level of every opposing team is raised, this just won't work. They're a great regular season team who may contend maybe in a couple years, but definitely not this year. The 2 usual suspects for contention in the West, the Lakers and the Warriors, are both having terrible seasons. The Warriors need to blow it up, and Steve Kerr is too stubborn to play his young players over his aging stars. I get it's a hard thing to do with a legacy guys like Klay and Draymond have built, but the Warriors are winning nothing as long as those 2 guys have to be key contributors. The Lakers have a better squad than they did last year, but have the same exact record and they're sitting under 500. I do really think this squad is capable of contending, but they have the worst coach in NBA history. Terrible lineups, terrible offensive schemes, so many inconsistencies, and the players have absolutely no faith in Darvin Ham. So unfortunately, this will probably be another wasted year of LeBron's legacy. I doubt this team will even scratch the play-in. The only team in the West I see as true championship contenders are the Denver Nuggets. They won the championship last year, and the only piece they lost from that championship was Bruce Brown. And watching these games, they don't seem to miss him too much. Jokic is by far the best player in the world. There is nothing he can't do. If you don't double him, he'll give you 30 points on elite efficiency. And if you do double him, he will always find the open guy. And this Nuggets team is full of great shooters. Michael Never Swing the Rock Porter Jr., KCP, Jamal Murray, Reggie Jackson, and these guys defend well. They're the second best defense in the league and the 7th best offense, also having the best player in the world, so this definitely puts you as a title contender. Now, the third true contender is the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, the Bucks defense has fallen off a cliff, but they did lose the best perimeter defender in the league. And combined with having a rookie head coach, it may take a full season or two for them to get that defense super dialed in. But they are the number 2 offense in the league. And they have Giannis, a guy who a lot of people consider the best player in the world currently. And they put him next to the perfect guy. Damian Lillard is the second best shooter of all time, right behind Steph Curry. People say that Dame has fallen off a bit since joining the Bucks, but that's just not true. Yeah, he's only averaging 25 points a game versus 32 points per game last year, but he's playing with Giannis. There's no need for him to average 30 points a game anymore. That is not his role. He gets to be Robin now. His shooting splits are just about the same, so he's adding that spacing with Brook Lopez and Malik Beasley, who's currently the best 3-point shooter in the league, shooting an insane 48% from 3. It's the team with the best basket attacker on the planet, surrounded by the best 3-point shooters in the league. And that's a combination that will definitely make you a contender. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys believe in any of these teams? Am I missing anybody? Leave a comment. I respond to everybody. And subscribe before I keep talking hoops.